coming up.
What does that mean, black supremacy?
Black supremacy means that black people have supreme courage, supreme resilience. No people on the face of the planet have been oppressed more than black people, but no group of people have made more significant contributions historically than black people.
Really? But if you're superior, wouldn't you like naturally do superior things?
We do naturally do superior things.
Like break into white people's business?
No, like run the fastest, jump the highest, things like that.
No.
Usain Bolt, no one has ever run faster than him.
Animals do that.
Huh?
You don't have to be superior to run fast. You just need
If
to
you
run.
if you run faster than everyone else, you're superior. Black people should have built our own institutions. We should have our own organizations, and we shouldn't chase after these.
But why don't they
white
know if they're
organizations.
superior?
We're superior because we have been oppressed the most and still made the most significant contributions. So our resilience is superior. That's what makes us
That
superior.
doesn't even make sense.
It does.
Welcome to another very exciting installment of Culture War. We're going to be watching Jesse take out this college professor, literally taking him out. He believes that white supremacy has been, stopping the blacks from achieving their goals in life, and he's actually a black supremacist, and he feels that blacks are really actually superior than the whites. I do not understand all what this competition is about. We are all the same. Blacks, white, Caucasian, it doesn't matter. We all originated from one father, one mother, Adam and Eve. We all bleed red. I don't know what the competition is for, what the jealousy is for, what the hatred is for. We are one. But let's watch Jesse expose this guy, destroy this college professor. Despite all the degree he has, he still feels whites are superior and blacks are actually superior than white. So let's watch this video. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to get more videos like this. So let's get straight to the video.
You have a book called Black Supremacy.
Right.
And what does that mean, black supremacy?
Black supremacy means that black people have supreme courage, supreme resilience. No people on the face of the planet have been oppressed more than black people, but no group of people have made more significant contributions historically than black people.
Really? And why nobody see it? You don't see it anywhere.
You don't see what?
Black historical accomplishments.
That's a part of the oppression and the hidden history. Not far from here, there's a guest you've had on your show, Tariq Nasheed.
Yes.
He has a museum called the Hidden History Museum, which is highlighting some of the accomplishments of black people. There aren't many in America because they want to hide the truth. That's the problem. And that's probably why he named the museum the Hidden History Museum. They hide the truth of black history.
And so if blacks are supreme, why they keep chasing white people and accusing them and asking for affirmative action and reparations and telling the white people, we want to be a part of your schools, we want to be a part of your everything, but you're going to have to lower the standards so that we don't have to worry about passing the test to get in and all that. Why don't black people go and just do their own thing rather than chasing white people if they are black supremacy?
Well, I talk about that in the book. Black people should have built our own institutions. We should have our own organizations, and we shouldn't chase after these.
But why don't they know if they're
organizations.
superior?
No, the black people who follow, I say that in the first page of the book, the black people who follow the teachings, the history, the actions of their ancestors that allowed them to be successful in the face of oppression, those are the supreme black people. The black people who are following after other groups of people, after other race of people, those aren't your black supremacists. Those aren't the people who are supreme.
Who are the supreme blacks?
The ones who follow the actions and behaviors in history that allowed their ancestors to be successful. So Frederick Douglass was successful even though he was born a slave.
And where's Frederick now?
He's dead.
I'll rest my case.
Benjamin
I'm talking
Banneker.
about now. What's wrong with the blacks?
Well, I'm successful.
What's wrong with the blacks that they are constantly complaining about the white man and trying to keep up with him, and they right now they're out of control as far as snatch and grab and robbing and stealing and raping and killing white people and breaking into their stores and all that. If they're superior, why are they doing those things?
Those aren't the superior blacks.
Ooh, those are the inferior ones?
Yes, the ones who
And
do
why
stuff
don't
like
the
that.
superior one help the inferior one?
We do,
How?
and we try.
How?
Like how I do it. I educate black youth. None of my students would ever do anything like that.
Oh, they wouldn't?
No.
Amazing.
And I have hundreds of students.
Do you teach at a black Israelite school or something?
No, I teach at a New York
You
City
teach at a
public
normal school?
Right. If you want to call it normal, it's normally oppressive. But what you said, why we're asking for affirmative action is only way to protect black people. In the 1950s and 60s, they would prevent black people from, 1940s and 50s, they would prevent black people from going to schools. They would follow them from NAACP meetings. They would follow them from Black Panther meetings, and they would make sure that they weren't going to college. They would harass them, kick them out of schools.
When you say that, you're saying white people would do that to the
right.
black.
And the people who were in charge of the institutions.
And
so,
the black people back there was trying to get into the white schools?
well, they were just trying to go to schools in general.
To black schools or white schools?
A lot of them were trying to go to WPIs.
Were they trying to
or
go to
PWIs.
black schools or white schools?
PWIs, predominantly
PWI?
predominantly white institutions.
And so if they were superior, why were they trying to go to white school rather than just building their own school and doing their own thing like the Jews did?
We have built our
Why
own
were they trying to force their way into the white school?
No, with schools or colleges. We have our own colleges.
Whichever one you're talking
they're called
about.
HBCUs.
Why was
But even there, they were kicking white people, black people out of like HBCUs.
Why were the blacks trying to force their way into the white school if they're superior?
The HBCU, historically black colleges.
Whichever one you're saying that they were kicking the blacks out.
Those are supposed to be black schools. Historically black colleges.
Stay with me. You said back in the 40s and 50s, right?
Right.
That they were, or 60s or whatever you said, they were kicking the blacks out of the school, they were following them and doing all that. Were the blacks trying to get into the white school back then?
Some were.
If they're superior, why were they trying to force their way into the white schools?
Because they didn't know that they were superior.
They didn't know it?
No.
Oh, you could be superior and not know it?
Yes.
Why were they so dumb that they didn't know they were
They
superior?
weren't dumb. They were just ignorant. There's a difference
How can
between...
you be superior and be ignorant that you're superior?
There's a difference between ignorance and stupidity.
And
There's
so,
a difference between knowledge and intelligence. Knowledge is what you know. Intelligence is how you utilize what you know.
So you could be superior and not know it?
Yes.
So-
a lot of people don't know it, which is why I wrote this book.
Define superior for me.
Exceptionally greater than.
Exceptionally greater than.
Right.
And so the blacks were exceptionally greater than the whites?
Historically speaking, what I'm saying is no group
What
of people
the-
no group of people have been oppressed as much as black people, and no group of people have made the significant contributions that black people have made. That's a historical fact.
But you're saying that the black people were superior when they were trying to force their way into the white schools, meaning that they were way smarter than the whites and they were superior to
You
the
said
whites.
that.
Well, superior, whatever your definition.
Okay.
But they didn't know it.
Yes.
So how can you be, so superiority doesn't come from God?
What?
It doesn't come from God?
What doesn't come from God?
To be superior.
To be superior doesn't come from God?
Right.
Anything we do comes from God.
So how could they be superior and didn't know it?
Because many don't know the truth. Like Deuteronomy 7 and 6 tells you that God has a chosen people. I know that I'm a part of those chosen people. If more black people knew that, then they would carry themselves like it.
So if they had read the Bible, they would have known that they were superior?
If they read it and understood it properly, yes.
They would have known they were superior. So
Right.
you can't know that you're superior unless you read the Bible?
No, you can know that without reading the Bible.
But why didn't they know it then?
They were ignorant.
But why though? If you're superior,
Systemic racism.
if you're smarter than the white
Systemic
people,
racism. So
and
you're talking about
superior,
you're talking about in the 1940s and 50s,
I'm
right?
talking about this time when you said that the white people like
Right.
keeping the
No.
black people out of the
Yeah. So
school, they were following them home.
staying with the timeline, we weren't far removed from slavery and Jim Crow. During the 1940s and 50s, we still had black people in slavery under peonage.
But I'm black and I'm slow. I'm one of those slow that didn't
You're
know
not
I was
slow.
superior. But how can you be superior than everybody else and not know it?
I'm going to tell you. So, one of the most famous slaves from the 1940s and 50s, we're talking about the 1940s and 50s. This lady was a slave. Her name is May Louise Miller. She was a slave in the 1950s and didn't even know that slavery was over, had been abolished.
But I'm asking you, how can you be superior and not know it to the rest of everybody else? Here you are fighting, trying to get into the white man's schools and to their businesses because you think you can see that their stuff is better than yours, right? But if you're superior, wouldn't you like naturally do superior things?
We do naturally do superior things.
Like break into white people's business?
No, like run the fastest, jump the highest, things like that.
No.
Usain Bolt, no one has ever run faster than him.
Animals do that.
Huh?
Animals
No,
do
I'm
that
talking
kind
about
of-
with people.
But you don't have to be superior to run fast. You just need
If
to
you
run.
if you run faster than everyone else, you're superior.
But you really believe that white people, that black people are superior to the whites?
Look, no,
And-
you're saying something that's subjective. Objectively, no group of people, no race of people have been oppressed like black people and have made the significant contributions that black people have made. So when it comes to resilience and innovativeness, black people are superior. Objectively speaking, name a group of people who have been oppressed more than black people, then name a group of people who have made more inventions than black people.
The white people.
Really? When were they oppressed more than us?
Even right now.
When were they oppressed more than us?
Right now, they've
No,
been oppressed for the last 70 years. White
70?
Yeah, the black people.
So
black people have been blaming them, taking their stuff, calling them racist.
That's not true.
Beating their children, calling it knockout games.
That's not true.
Robbing and raping their homes.
That's not
taking
true.
their purses on the streets.
That's not
telling
true.
them if you disagree, you're a racist.
That's not true.
You don't know all that's happening?
No, not the way you're saying
You
it.
got all those degrees and you're not
Not the
aware
way
that
you're
that
saying
is
it.
happening to the white man?
And it's happening to black people too.
No. I'm asking.
Knockout, they hit everyone when they play
Stay
knockout.
with me with that. You got all those degrees and you don't know that the things I just named are happening to white people?
The stuff you named are happening to more than just white people.
No. You asked me to name any group that been more oppressed than black people, and I told you the whites. And it's happening right now. You said it's not happening,
but
right?
when you name the stuff, you can't name stuff that's also not happening to black people.
But
and
you
other
asked
groups
me
of
who are
people.
more depressed than the black.
All
I
right,
told you
so-
the whites.
No, but you name
White
stuff
people
that's
are
happening.
scared to speak up to the black.
You name stuff that's happening to us too. Black people are scared to speak up to whites and
No, they're
everyone.
not.
Yes,
No,
they are.
no, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they are.
So say yes or no to me. Black people are superior to all other races, right?
Yes.
Yes, but they don't know it.
The majority.
Do they know that they are superior to all other races?
The majority don't know that.
So you could be superior over all other races and not know it.
Right. If you
And
don't
who
know,
gave them that superiority?
it's God.
Who?
God.
The Israelite God?
Your God. The same God.
Which one is that?
The God of the Bible.
Which one is that?
Of the Bible.
Which one is that though?
Yahweh.
Who?
Yahweh.
The hour?
Yahweh.
Who is Yahweh?
God. That's his name.
What the? Who destroyed the black family?
Systemic racism.
Who?
Who? White supremacists.
White supremacy destroyed the black family?
Right. Systemic
They
racism.
made black men leave their homes?
They locked black men up, yes.
Did they make black men leave their home and for the welfare check?
Yes.
They made them do it.
They didn't make them do it. It rewarded black women who kicked black men out the house.
But, right, and so is the black woman superior too?
The black woman what?
Superior to all the other women, other races of women?
By my definition,
No, yeah.
yes.
They're superior to everybody else.
Yes, by my definition.
And so if black women are superior, why did they choose to accept the welfare check over the husband?
You're twisting it. They're
What do you mean?
superior when they operate with the actions that their ancestors operated with.
Right, but their ancestors, at that time, they were not getting a welfare check. They were getting husbands, right?
Exactly.
And so if they were superior, why did they choose the welfare check over the husband? The white man came along and said, here's a welfare check, but you can't have a husband. Why did this black superior woman decide, you know, a welfare check is better than a husband?
Ignorance.
Oh,
We're
so
back
the
at
sup-
ignorance.
So the superior
Exactly.
woman was ignorant?
Exactly.
She didn't know she was superior?
You're not going to act in a way that allows you to be superior when you're ignorant.
So she didn't know she was superior?
No.
And so she chose the welfare check over the husband.
Right, because she didn't know what best served the black community.
And the black husband didn't know he was superior.
It depends on who you're talking
Back
about.
then, he didn't know he was superior.
It depends on which one you're talking about. Not all black men left.
Those that did leave, they didn't know they were superior.
No, the ones who know act in a way that serves their community best.
You got all those degrees, and this makes sense to you.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Did you read the book?